Perfect. I need higher heat. How do I turn it higher heat?
Higher?
Yep, I need it higher.
You go find it. Because I just cut you out.
Right. Right. So usually have to leave it in about 10-15 minutes and then I will turn it. I want it to be nice and burnt and crispy.
Still keep talking?
Oh, are you recording?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So usually what I need to do is heat the pan really hot. Because Wagyu are generally quite fatty, so I won't need that much oil, but I need enough oil to oil the cast iron. And what I'm doing is cooking one of the beef to make sure it's nicely roasted on one side first. Now what I usually do is once I flip it and cook one side, that's a nice brown color. Usually towards the end, that is when I start roasting the rim to cook the fat, because you also want the fat to be crispy. I've already seasoned one side with Himalaya salt. I tend to like garlic salt, but Himalayas also works well. And I put the pepper as well. I don't want to marinate the beef beforehand, otherwise it gets too salty and too peppery, so I only do it towards the end or while I'm cooking, because I'm also lazy, but that's the best way I like to do it. So usually the tip is when you pan fry or grill the steak, the key is to have it hot, quick fry on both sides, and then take it off the pan, and then it will still, the residual heat will still cook it inside, so hopefully it will then be medium rare. So I've tried two methods before. If I think it's a really thick cut and it hasn't defrosted properly, what I do is a cheat way of doing it is putting it in the oven for about 5-10 minutes. You see it's almost cooked on the top and bottom. I don't want it fully cooked, and then I use the finishing touches and put it on the cast iron to have that nice brown glaze look. Ideally, if you like some pattern to it, there are some griddle pans that has that nice grid finishing, but we're just using a normal pan here. Okay, this is the part where I will start to grill the sides, the rims. So as you can see, usually by the time you cook all the both sides, they're brown. It's usually the ends that are not cooked. So the ends are harder to cook. So this is the best way is to get a hair tong and hold it there and sit so it can have that finishing touch and grill all the sides.
Do we need a tray to put the cooked meat on?
Sorry?
Do we need a tray to put the cooked meat on, or we can use that?
To cook this one too?
No, just to put the cooked meat.
Cooked meat, yeah. Yeah, I need to put it there. Do you have a clean plate? I can, yes. Okay, actually, can you get me another tong as well? I need to, because this is big, I can't hold it in place. Okay, there you go. You can see previously the side was really white, so as you see, I've cooked the side too. And it was the end that wasn't cooked yet. Now look at that. Look at this color. Okay. Thank you. Yeah, I like to. There you go. Got that lovely brown color. Excellent. All right. Leave that to rest. Let's see. All right, let's go for the next one. Are they both the same type of steak?
One is a ribeye, one is a New York Strip.
Which one's the ribeye?
I'm assuming this is New York Strip and that's a ribeye. I'm assuming.
Maybe.
Because that looks more fatty.
Yeah, I think so. This one you can tell the difference. This one's got a lot of fat. Can you see all that fat that's come out? So what I usually do is the extra fat I use to cook the vegetables afterwards. Okay, as I said, usually whilst it's cooking, that is when I season it. Remember, if you season it before and put the salt before, it take out all the moisture and it'll be too salty. So that's how, as I said, I would do it while I'm cooking and it saves time. I personally, it depends whether you like pepper or not. I only add a little, and the beauty of a pepper is if you want it a bit more, you can add it towards the end. Okay, this is where I can need to put a bit more heat again. Is it the same heat? Oh, maybe it's fine. No, I think it's fine. Maybe. Do you have a sharp knife? We can cut through it in slices if you want. This bit, yeah, you can taste a little bit. This bit I want to cook a little bit more, but it's fine. Yeah, so as you can see, it doesn't really require much time to cook as long as it's fully defrosted. Then I think we did almost about 5 to 5 minutes on each side, roughly, or maybe less. I don't really time the way I cook my steak. I usually look at it, how brown it is, and then I turn it when it's ready. The fat on this one probably will take a lot longer to cook because it's got a thin rim of fat. Usually I cut the fat off because I don't want to eat that much fat, but I think guys will love it. Guys love the fat that it comes along with the steak and eat that. Okay, let's turn this. Right.
So is the heat stronger one part than the other?
Yeah, I think so. I think also where it's closer to the rim, where it's fat, it's raised. So that's probably that bit was a bit roasted, but it's fine. Okay, I need to season this side too. Enough.
Are you cooking the asparagus in the same pan?
Yes, yes.
Are you cooking tomatoes also in it?
Yes. It's a bit oily, so do you have a bowl so I can pour some of the oil out? Otherwise, asparagus is usually fine, but tomatoes really absorb the oil, so I need to get rid of that. So this is I have the oven in the oil. I have potatoes in the oven, but if I wanted to save time, I would have totally used this oil to roast my potatoes. That would be lovely. Or this beef. Yeah, it would have been awesome if we had a griddle and then you had those marks. But this pan cooks really well.
Well, you need to move this steak aside so we can.
Yeah, can you? Oh, sorry. Yeah, can you shift it?
Go like that. You probably just cut out.
You can eat the fat.
Oh, I'm just cutting it out so it doesn't hang over.
Oh look, this fat is a very big piece, so I need to roast it a bit longer. The reason being is because clearly the fat doesn't cook as fast and quickly as the meat. So that's why I don't want to overcook the meat. So I'm folding it and holding it in place so that at least I can still cook the fat while it's in the grill. Let's see, how's it going? Bit better. I'll cook that bit a bit more. This one's a bit trickier because the fat is on the end. Like this. Much better. Otherwise, the other option is that you can always cut the fat off and put it in the oven.
But we don't need to eat the fat, right?
You don't need to. Actually, some people like to eat the fat. I have some guy friends who likes to eat the fat along with the meat because it just melts in your mouth. I personally don't. Yeah, I need to pour this out. This is a bit hot. I might need some help on holding this. It's a bit hot. Bao, do you have a towel so I can? It's a bit hot still.
Do you need help with that?
Yeah, probably. I just need to pour the oil out because this oil is burning too quickly.
Yeah, we need to turn off the fire?
Yeah, I need to turn the fire a bit down.
Are you turning off the fire? So
yeah, we want to turn it down.
Oh, down.
Because I'm cooking vegetables now. Not completely off because I need to cook.
Do you think you can help with this? Do you need help with this? Do you need a guy to do it?
It's okay. Let me try this. Okay, there you go. Watch out. It's going to spill. It's going to be cold. Is it going to work? Is it going to splash? Okay. Oh, yeah, that oil can't be kept, actually. It's too burnt, the oil, because it's kind of... Yeah.
Probably need to wipe it with a towel.
Yeah, I think so. Do you want me to cook the vegetables back in the normal stove, or you want me to still use this?
Yeah, we can just do that inside, right?
Yeah, because originally I wanted to cook it here, but I think it's too burnt. I don't want to use that oil. It would just give a too charred a taste. Yeah, I wanted to char it, but it looks a bit too burnt.
Another pan? You want another pan?
Yeah, I could do that since you got the oven on anyway. Do you bite piece?
Go ahead. Or you want to cut it for everyone to try?
Do you want to try it later?
Camera?
You can cut a little bit and try if you want.
We're going to put the other pan now.
Yeah. Can you do a switch over?
Cast iron for the asparagus? Not necessarily.
Not really, no, I don't. But since they have it open, it's just, I think it's easier, I guess. Thank you. All right, veggies. Only a tiny bit of oil with that. Okay. Even with vegetables, I have to time it. So I cook the stem, the bottom first. They take a slightly bit longer. So I always put it in order. I like to cut my asparagus in diagonal shapes because they look prettier.
So what piece you want to try? On the steak? Just the edge?
Huh? Sorry? Yeah, you can try the edge. Otherwise, what I could do, I usually do is I slice open them. But I could also use scissors to cut it because it's on the grill. Meat scissors. Hey, Bao, do you have some meat cutting scissors?
Shears?
Shears, that's it. I usually have about 5 pairs at home, like for cooked and raw food. And I just cut it, so easy. There we go. That's really nice. My favorite seasoning is usually garlic salt, but I also have a tub of Himalaya salt. That's my go-to. It's healthier. And I like ground pepper. I usually use rainbow pepper. This is good. Oh, it smells so good. It smells good. Alright. Do I have a towel? I can wipe this, or I can use another plate if you want. Okay. Oh, thank you. Love asparagus. They're very healthy. It's got high folic acid and other good nutrients that go with this. Usually pairing with steak, I like using asparagus, cherry tomatoes for the colouring. Because steak can be savoury and very fattening, so cherry tomatoes cut the acidity would cut into the fat. So that's why I like to pair it that way. So I have some potatoes as well. Those are my three go-to. Okay, I think these are good. Once they turn colour, you can see it's slightly roasted. It's good. So one trick is usually some of the asparagus at the end can be quite chewy on the fibre because it's got all that fibre. So there was a few that I could tell was a bit old, so you cut the ends and then the rest is crispy. It's fine. Look at that colour. Love that crunch. There you go. It's good. Alright, I think it's done. Then I just slightly roast the tomatoes. Usually when I don't have time, when I have the oven on, I would put the tomatoes in the oven and just have it roasted. But since I got the pan going, I might as well do a quick fry and then it'll be great. Usually when I cook, I put all my veg on one side when I plate, and that is when I put it in a nice plate with the steak and decorate with asparagus, potatoes and tomatoes accordingly. But at the moment, I'm just going to put them all on one side first. I can smell the asparagus, it smells so good. When it's roasted, it smells nice.
Is that too much asparagus?
Maybe a lot, but I can eat them all. Do you know usually a lot of Western restaurants, they want that finesse where they only put like 3 pieces? I always complain there's not enough asparagus. This was for decoration, but because I'm very Asian, I like to cook everything a lot. Especially when I'm eating that much steak.
Do you need to put the pan down here?
No, it's fine. I'll just quickly roast this and then I'll be good. I'm going to put those aside. You know, I don't know whether the article, one article said like, tomatoes are very healthy and again high in antioxidants, but apparently there are certain chemicals that only releases the full flavor and the healthy nutrients is when you roast them. or cook them. So that's why generally, even though it's healthy when you're eating them as salad, I like to cook them because that's when all the healthy stuff released.
Don't you get the nutrients regardless if you roast them or not?
Sorry?
Don't you get the nutrients regardless if you roast them or not?
With the garlic?
With tomatoes.
Tomatoes, as I said, some of the nutrients doesn't release until you actually cook them.
But then when you eat them, you get the nutrients, right?
You are. When you eat them, you get the nutrients, but sadly, it doesn't release all the nutrients until you cook them.
But if you eat a tomato, you should get all the nutrients, even if you cook it or not, right?
You do? Yes.
I'm just guessing. I don't know.
You would get, you haven't heard of it because I discussed this with a couple of foodies before, and this is in Asia. We were just talking about health in general, and they said, you do realize the beauty of cooking tomatoes is no matter how long you cook it, the nutrients will stay there, but when it's raw, you still get the nutrients, but sometimes not all the flavor or the healthy stuff comes out. For some reason, when you cook it, that's when all the red coloring and the nutrients get released. For example, if I say Chinese cooking, why would you just cook or boil chicken or steak or stew? There's something called dantong, is when you double boil the chicken for 12, 24 hours. And I said, well, and I did ask one of the experts, I said, what's the difference of cooking a chicken for 24 hours or whatever, or 12 hours, and then it can be more healthy? Why is it healthier? It's just the way you cook it and the way it just releases some of the nutrients in a different way. And this is talking about some kind of experience. A couple of ladies who are experienced with 40 years of cooking, and they were trying to explain the concept of Chinese cooking. I said, what's the difference? Why don't I just, as Sang said, why don't I just fry the chicken and pan fry? I still get all the nutrients, but the way you cook it can also affect the health. Affect how healthy it could be. Yeah, I need to turn it off. I'm gonna pour this down. Oh God, this is heavy. This cast iron is heavy. Maybe I'll just pick on it up. Yeah. Usually I also like for presentation, I like to buy the vine tomatoes. It's got that vine that you cook with it. And I put the oven.
So we can start putting stuff in?
Yeah, we could.